Melisa Nielsen. Let's talk about bedtime. I often get questions about bedtime and how to work your bedtime, especially when you have multiple children of all different ages. So we have 5 kids, and when we had all 5 of them at home, there was a large age spread. So like our oldest is 23, our youngest is 9. So there was always a child in every stage. I always focus bedtime on the youngest child. So you might want to take notes. Dinner is the runway for bedtime. I talk about this often. When you're working on your rhythm, you really, really, really want to have this dinner part in place. So you really ideally want to have dinner between 5 and 6. 5:30-ish is probably best. Then you start this runway for bedtime. Now, when you have older children, you've got to enroll them so that they understand that you're trying to get the little ones to bed. If you have children that are under 6 and they're not napping, they need to be in bed before 7. So if you're having trouble getting kids to bed, you really need to ask yourself, have I missed the sleep window? And truly, when you have children of varied age groups and you're trying to meet them all, you want to, like I said, look at the youngest child first. Then I would say anywhere from between 7 and 9, they need to be in bed by 7:30. Our daughter just turned 9. We're allowing her to stay up till 8. But you want to have that anchor. You want to have that anchor and let children know, well, when you get to be that age, then you'll get to stay up too. When you know, they were younger, they didn't get to stay up, so this is just how it goes. When you are firm in your boundary, they don't generally argue, but when you're wishy-washy, they will every time. So don't be wishy-washy. Know what your boundary is. That doesn't mean you don't sometimes stay up late and watch, the moon come out, or go do something fun late at night. That doesn't mean you don't ever do that, but it means you don't do that every night. It means that for the most part, you understand what's going on and you know when bedtime is. If you don't know, they're not going to know when bedtime is. So you've got to really sort of, anchor that, and everybody sort of needs to know. When it comes to older kids, like say 9 to 11 or 9 to 12, I definitely will let them stay up until 8:30, sometimes 9. But here's the thing. I get up at 5, so I'm done with the day come about 8:30 at night. When we have late office hours, I'm like, oh my goodness, you guys, I gotta go to bed. So I really try to keep hours so that I can shut down my life come 8:30. So I'm not, I don't have to think after that. Anytime that I've gotten up really early like I usually do, and I kid myself that I'm going to answer emails after everybody goes to bed, it never happens because I'm exhausted. And I don't want to give that exhausted piece to people that I'm emailing, so I will usually wait till the next morning. But I bring that up because if you have older kids that are then going to want to stay up later, you want to sort of have boundaries there. So my kids know that Dad's the one that stays up generally. Even though he gets up at 5 with me, he likes less sleep, I guess, but he's usually in bed by 9:30 or 10 these days. Most days. During the quarantine, I have to tell you, it's been a little bit harder for him because he has that space of wanting to have that alone time, which I know is very important. And so I know a lot of you will take that alone time at night. I'm going to challenge you, though, to try to get it in the morning when you're fresh, because you can get so much more done when you get up before your kids. So when our kids are, staying up a little bit later, they know that Mom's still going to bed. A couple of times a week, I will stay up with my almost 14-year-old, and he and I will watch a show together. And that's, we connect that way, or we'll play a board game, or just sit and talk, because I do want to have that connection time with my big kids. So I want to have that connection time with all of our kids. But truly, when the little ones go to sleep, then the big ones are sort of ready to chat with us. And there's something about nighttime where they've relaxed from the day a bit, and it's just like their mind starts to unravel and they want to just talk. So if they know that you're there, it doesn't have to be every night, but a couple of times a week just for them, it's so helpful. So you get those younger ones to bed. I even Sam and Soraya are still sharing a room right now. We're getting ready to move, so That won't be the reality after we move, but he goes into the bedroom with her, and he'll read while she goes to sleep, and then he gets up after that, because that sort of helps her stay anchored and helps her stay in bed. Again, it's gonna be interesting once we move, but we'll figure something out. I'll have something else to teach you guys, but truly putting them all to bed at the same time and then letting them get up, or having the older children be completely out of the bedroom while you're putting the younger ones to bed is super helpful. Often what I'll do is, or what I have done in the past, is when I put that child to bed so that they're not a boomerang, because that can happen, they'll have 14 glasses of water. I go, this is the last glass of water, you're going to get in bed. I will either sit at the foot of their bed or in the doorway, and I'll knit, answer some emails, maybe read a book, something, so that I'm anchored right there in that space. They know I'm there, and they can go to sleep, and it's then not stressful for them, because they want to be with people when they're sleeping, just like most of us do. So I hope that's helpful. I know that often having multiple age groups in your home sort of feels really difficult, but really ask yourself what each one of them needs. They have different needs. They all need sleep. So even my big kids, even my teenagers, they're always in bed before 10. And I sort of joked this morning in our Planning for Peace call. I said, I let them choose when they go to bed, but I choose when they get up. And I do. It's not a joke. I'll say, I want you in bed by 10. If they choose to stay awake till 10:30 or 11, that's on them. They're still getting up when I get them up. And I feel really firmly about that. I know we sort of live in a culture that's like, oh, well, teenagers should just sleep whenever. They need to make good habits for later in life. And the teenagers especially, they need to have those good habits. So you want to instill those habits in them when they're young, so that they can continue them as they grow. You don't want a child that doesn't know how to get up before 11 o'clock, all of a sudden has to be at work at 8 a.m. and doesn't know how to do it and struggles. So that's part of your stewardship, is teaching them that there are times to sleep in and times to not. This doesn't mean we never sleep in, but it definitely means that that's not the mainstay of how we do things. So I hope that was helpful.